everyone. Welcome to our maiden edition this year of Cambridge Technology and AI 2026. Last year was an amazing one. We had a very good time. We learned a lot, shared different presentations from various experts in different spaces, but everything cuts along the AI scheme of things. And this year we are not doing any different. We are kicking off the year with Avinash Sowale, who would be taking us through data quality management for AI systems. Um, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Advait. I think it's best he would introduce himself. I wouldn't do justice enough. He has a wealth of experience that dates years in this space, and we are more than privileged to have him share this platform with us. Before we kick start today's event, just a few house rules. For those of us with us here in Meetup, kindly keep your mics mute and your cameras also turned off during the presentation. Halfway through it, we are going to pause for questions and about 10 minutes for Advait to address all the questions that we might have. After this session, he'll continue with his presentation, and then briefly towards the end, we'll have another 10 minutes till the end of the presentation to address further questions. So without much ado, I'll leave the stage for Advait to introduce himself and begin with his presentation. Thank you very much and enjoy. Advait,
Yeah,
please, the
hi.
stage is yours.
Yes. Hi. So good evening, everyone. People have joined across the globe. So it's good morning, good evening to everyone. Here I'm Advait. I'm glad to hear at the Cambridge Technology and AI. So I'm Advait. I'm basically from India, Pune. I spent almost 15 plus years in the IT sector, where I done programming, development, testing, designing, etc. So, as we all know that buzzword, emerging technology, and in that AI system. So, AI, artificial intelligence, why we are using it, and the main idea behind it to minimize the human intervention. Like there are n number of tasks. Okay. So there are n number of tasks which we are doing in the across different industries. So making it with some intelligence to make it some better solution, better productivity, we are using AI. So when we are talking that we are minimizing human intervention, so that AI system should be a foolproof. It should be a quality system. It should be a system which can work on its own in a way like it is able to handle each and every scenario and condition. So when we are developing these AI systems, what is there? It's all about data. Data is like you can say like it's a fundamental or it's a backbone of every AI system. So in today's session, what we are going to do, we are touching to AI. We are touching to quality aspects of AI, mainly into data, and we are going deep dive into the different aspects of data quality management for AI systems because it is ensuring reliable, ethical, and high performance AI. So the agenda for the day. So it's like a introduction to data quality in AI, importance of data quality for AI dimensions, then common data quality issues in AI, data quality assessment techniques, uh, uh, like um, data cleaning, pre-processing strategies. So entirely like we are meeting with the different aspects we are touching. We're trying to touch, actually, we're trying to touch each and every aspect where we are talking about the data, we're talking about AI, and we're talking about the dependency with the quality.
Data quality is like the foundation of a house. Without it, everything can crumble. Imagine feeding a robot bad data. It's like giving it a broken map. It'll get lost and make wrong decisions. Good data helps AI learn and grow. Think of it as giving it the right tools. With quality data, AI can solve real problems, like predicting weather or diagnosing diseases. So always check your data before using it. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Want to learn more? Follow us for tips.
Okay, so we have seen that the data is the backbone. Data quality is equally important. It's like if we are talking about any traditional software system, database data is important, equally important. So it is not a exception when we are talking about any emerging technology, whether it's a IoT, whether it's a digital twin, or whether it's a, obviously today's our topic, that is AI. So in a simple word, we are starting with like data quality. It is considering like accuracy, completeness, consistency, timeliness, and relevance for the use, AI use. Role in AI, high quality data, it's a reliable model, poor data, flawed the outcomes. The general principle we know that GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever we are going to provide, it will give us out. Like we are in AI system, we are developing system, we are training those systems to work in a way like it should be a quality performance. It may possible that I'm not there on the any floor. If you can see this video, I'm not there on floor. My entire system is handling the that particular floor operations. In that case, if my application, AI application is properly trained with the proper and correct data, in that case, it will give me proper input, proper output. Whatever the data I am providing, it will provide me the proper results to that. So it's just like what we can say that it's something where data is utmost important, right? Data is utmost important because we are using data at n number of places. Like when we are developing any AI application, there is a training data, where we can say like core data set used to teach the model patterns, then validation data with the help of which we are means during training we are tuning the application using the particularly validation data, then testing data. We have developed the system, we are teach everything to our system. Now it is important to test it. Then we have the other type of data, we can say that production data, synthetic data, n number of data is there. So we are keep using that. That data should be a quality, because from the start A to Z, we can say everywhere where it's coming into picture, the data quality should meet its expectation. Because if we are at any stage, we are providing a garbage, it will obviously provide us the garbage output.
Data quality in AI is crucial. It can make or break your project. Imagine training an AI with bad data. It's like teaching a child with false facts. You wouldn't want a doctor using outdated info, right? The same goes for AI. Quality data leads to quality insights. So what is data quality? It's about accuracy, completeness, and consistency. Think of it as the foundation of a house. Without it, everything crumbles. To ensure data quality, start with validation checks. Regular audits can help catch errors early. And don't forget about data governance. It keeps everything in check. Want to dive deeper into data quality? Follow us for more insights.
Okay. So that's the importance. Like we initially talk about, everywhere there is data. We are training the application, we are testing the application, we are updating the application, we are tuning with the real-time data. So everywhere there is data. And with that data, if that data at any stage, like this, whatever the video you have seen, like the information we are providing properly, it will provide a proper solution. When a human is working at any industry or any particular workflow we are considering, or any operation, in that case, if there is a proper input would be there, accordingly the system will start working. Like I'm going to use that system on my own, and I'm using that particular software, so I have developed that software. But now the thing is that initially whatever the data I use to train that application, if that is wrong, then the things will keep coming in a garbage out. So the importance of data quality is improves the model accuracy and generalization, prevents the ethical issues, bias, unfairness. This is one of the important part of when we're always talking about AI. Like it directly affects the model accuracy and generalization, and it prevents the ethical issues. So if I want to ask any AI application, or I need to build any application for the decision making or the prediction, or using the sentiment analysis. Like, yes, I want to settle in one city in UK. I'm looking for the Cardiff. I'm looking for the Liverpool, but I need a weather where it would be a pleasant weather. There would be no any sunny day, something like that. So that system will provide me output like, yes, the average temperature for this place is this place is this. But based on what I am asking, if it is insisting me, the results will insisting me, no, the Cardiff is always useful for you, London is always useful for you, it will matches your requirement, so it should not provide in that way. So it will provide us the difference, it will provide us the advantages, disadvantages, and finally it will give us the final result, and based on that we can make our own decisions. But the thing is that for that also the application should be that much trained with the correct data. So each and every information about that particular city, and that should be a accurate information. Based on that, it won't make any difference in the bias or fairness, like, yes, you have to choose this one, you have to choose this one, you have to choose this one. This is not going to happen. So that is the importance of data quality for AI. Dimensions of data quality. So data quality is not a, we can say it's not a single concept. It has a multiple dimensions. The accuracy, if we're talking about accuracy, we can say that it's ensures the data reflects reality. That's the correct data. Then completeness. What completeness means? Completeness means it's a entirely correct data as well as it's a complete data. That none of the information of that data set has been like, we are not missing that. So that's the completeness. Consistency and uniqueness prevent the conflicts or duplicates. So when data is consistent, data is unique, it won't give any duplicates. In that case, what would happen? It will help us to develop an application or to maintain the quality of that particular AI application to get the results. It may possible like, if I'm asking my AI system, depend on the weather conditions of last 50 years, weather condition of last 100 years, or something like that. So based on that information, for that example, we can considering the stock market information also, like what is the performance of particular stock in the stock market for last 6 months. So information is correct, it's complete, and it's not duplicate. In that case, it will provide a proper result. Then another important part is relevance of ensures that data first is AI's purpose. The data, whatever we are providing, it is like meant for that particular system. Whatever the output we are expecting, whatever the solution we are expecting from that particular AI system, in that case, the relevance of that data should be there. These are some dimensions, but thing is that these are generic dimensions, we can say. Domain to domain, technology, domain to domain, or project to project, it may depend on the client or your product, what you are going to design. Based on that, you can add more dimensions to that. Common data quality issues in AI. So common data quality issues, we are talking about the data quality. So why we need to talk about it? That's the first question. Data, we are collecting the data, we are providing that data, we are training the system, we are providing training data to the system, and then we are testing data. So it may possible, whatever data I am providing my system to get trained, it's missing or noisy data. It could possible that I am providing the information, I have one table, I have data table, okay? In that data table, like we can define it as a data set. If in first column it would be year, in second column it would be grain yield, in third column it would be month, it would be area. So there would be different parameters. If I am missing any column or any particular cell, what would happen? It is not going to understand like this blank space or this blank cell, how that particular system has to understand. So we need, whatever the data set we are providing, it would be complete and it should not missing anything. And another part is noisy data. Like noisy data, we can say it's a wrong data, or it's a value, it's a garbage value, obviously. Or we can say that we are expecting some value, but if temperature, a column of a temperature is like 10 degrees, 20 degree, minus 10 degree, and suddenly somewhere it's data coming with minus 270 degrees. We are not on Pluto or Uranus or Neptune, but that data would come and it will make the system in a way like it's not going to be a ideal AI system. The same example we have previously taken, that bias and class imbalance. So if my data which I am providing for training to my system, if it's favoring one, we can say one geographic, one community, one particular class, or one particular product. If there are two companies, company A and company B. So company A is a FMCG company and company B is also FMCG company, but they are also into pharmaceutical products. So this is not the way. Like when my system, I train my system and I provide that data set, and the data set having the information more about that B system, B company. So based on that, what would happen? My application is going to understand, okay, it's all about B company. It's all about B company. So every time what would happen, the result would be come in favor of that particular B company. So that is, that would not be a, we can say, a proper system, which will be a ethical system, and which won't be like targeting to any particular class or community. Data drift, distribution changes over time. So this is like very nice example. We can say if we are using AI system on the signals, traffic signals. So what would happen? Like the traffic rush hour, peak hours are in the morning, suppose 9 to 11, and it would be something like in the evening 5 to 8. Now thing is that there are 7 days in a week. My data is about 5 days for the peak hours, and Saturday, Sunday would be off. So similarly, it may possible, in specific month of December or maybe January, there would be holidays. So based on holidays, it would be something like people are going out of city and the traffic is less. So when I'm developing that system and providing that particular data set, I need to consider that there should not be any data drift. It's usually it happens like my system is understanding everything, getting it, and suddenly at one point of time it will coming into drift because it is not getting that particular knowledge of suddenly why that's a PCAR. So my signal is showing the data drift. My AI enabled signal is signaling system is there, but it started giving me false results. Then outdated data, we can have that outdated data, which would be like it's the parameters have changed over the time, and still if I am asking something, we are using a number of systems nowadays. We are prompting something to that particular application and it is providing us result. If I'm asking write an essay on some specific topic, the current affairs, current world status, something like that, and now it's providing me data. But if the information is outdated, it is going to understand based on that. If the output would be based on the data set what we have provided from 1980 to 1990, that would not going to help us out in the 2020 or 2030. So outdated or irrelevant data sources, those are common data quality issues in AI. Now another important aspect, like data quality assessment technique, that is the important part. Like we are going to build the AI application. Now I have entire data set to train my application, but now I need to build that what we can say, a complete ecosystem for data quality also. For AI, I decided entire plan is in my mind, entire design is in my mind. But now what happened? Like I need to assess the data quality. So to assess the data quality, we need to start with like defining goal. Sorry. defining goals of collecting data, determining the quality dimensions and elements. So overall diagram, we can see this flow chart here. What we can say that like the initial stage sets the purpose of the assessment and selects the key dimension, like what we had discussed in previous 2 slide back. It's about the taking an example of accuracy to improve the analytics reliability. Then data profiling and understand the data. Profiling analyzes the dataset structure, statistics pattern, we can say, also the distribution. And yeah, there could be possibility of some anomalies, which would be like into its current state and identify the potential quality issues in the early stage. I don't know how many of you are from the testing background maybe, but like we are working on the shift left testing. Initially, we are getting the requirement, and at that stage only we are started working on that. Then if we are going ahead, then it's defining rules and metrics the set quality thresholds. So we need to define that quality thresholds to make the system, to bring it in a quality flow. That is important part. Then now I have started doing it. I have data is collected, data. It's like we need to define the baseline. The baseline where we are meeting the requirement. Yes, now here I am setting that and I don't want to come below that. Then we need to execute the assessment, run checks and validation. We need to like, we're doing the profiling, we're doing the validation rules. That's normal. We can do it automated way in our manual techniques, whatever we are traditionally using. But obviously, when we're talking about the AI systems and in current era, we can use the different utilities. Actually, in my organization, when I work, we are using our own utilities. We use most likely like using Python and Java, and we're using that. So we need to execute the assessment, run checks and validation of that. Then we need to analyze the results, identify issues and root cause. So such in a way, like results are reviewed to quantity problems. Like I have done that, I came here, now I got that the data is okay. Now I am satisfied. But like how much percent I am getting satisfied, where it's lacking, is there something is missing? So each and everything I need to identify here only. And after that, what will happen? Like I need to work to remove that problem from that particular stage. Then again, I will, you can say that I can clean that data, I can improve the data, and again, I can come into the picture with that particular data. Then what I will do next step, I will go and after that, everything has been done, then I'm going to generate the quality report. I'm going to monitor. So this cycle I'm going to keep going on that cycle till the time I will get the proper data quality. Proper data quality. So we can say that data quality assessment technique work in a way like we need to define our own practices, which will help us to complete the cycle of data quality. And the important thing is again, like in which domain or which type of data set we are, how we have designed that. So these are micro points, but these are coming into picture when we are going to decide and when we are going to plan this activity. So data cleaning and pre-processing strategies. Data cleaning and pre-processing strategies. So it's a simple like missing values, imputation or removal. So if there is any cell in data set, some information is missing or some irrelevant information is there, then I need to check that how I need to overcome it. If it's impossible for me to get the correct data again, then I go to with a statistical practice, mean or median, or directly removal of that particular row or particular data based on the information which I have in my hand. Based on that, I can do some outlier handling like z-score, which we calculate, IQR or normalization and scaling. So this practice is what it helps us to make the data set proper, to work on the missing values, because it may possible, like I asked to meteorological department of particular city, like I need data for last 100 years or last 25 years. So it may possible that they are missing that particular data from particular row or month or week, something like that. So based on that, if I'm going to use any statistical method to get it done, so at that time, I need to decide how to work on that. If there may be possibility of duplicates records or irrelevant records. So based on that, the understanding of previous data, I need to put some algorithm, and based on that, I need to decide like how to clean that data. If I need to rework on that data, I need to clean that data, I need to remove that data, and all assisted possibilities.
Advait?
Yeah.
I would like to pause here for a second and ask our audience if
Okay.
they have any questions
Yes. Yes.
that
I was
they would
thinking
like
to
you to
yes.
address before we proceed.
Proceed. Sure. So yeah, guys, here we are halfway till the data cleaning and data processing strategies. So if you have any queries.
I think I'm gonna go first. If there are no questions at the moment. Yeah,
Yes.
so exactly right on this page where you talk about the dimensions of data quality, and you highlight the quality aspects of AI and how to get accurate data.
Yes.
But my question is, I come from my background is from autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles, and when we back in the day when we train vehicles with scenarios that they would have to learn and apply in real time. The scenarios such as someone crossing, a car coming, the speed limits are fairly easy to come by. You could capture a picture of the speed limit, and then you can train the model to do so. But then there are also unique situations where you want the car to behave in a certain way if a car in front of it has somersaulted. So in that case, you're not going to somersault a car and take a picture or a video and then train the model based on that, because how many times are you going to have to somersault a car before the model will understand that? So
yes.
you mentioned here uniqueness, accuracy, precision, completeness, and all these point to the question that I'm saying, this specific unique scenario. How do you address that?
Right. So it's a nice question. First of all, like if continuing with your example only, autonomous vehicle is like it's in the University of Cambridge. One autonomous vehicle is running from one place to another place. So in that case, whatever the object I have trained my application, like it may possible on road, you will get n number of things. So based on that, whatever my training data is going to inform, it may possible that anything would be there, but based on any exception which is not it's into its radar. I'm using the word radar here. That autonomous vehicle is not understanding it is something weird or some object which is not there into the training module. It may possible. So it's not an alien, but yeah, it could possible that something would be there. So I will design it in a way like it's a comprehensive part which is not there in my design, which is not in my data set. Based on that, it will become under the specific exception. And in that exception, if that particular object would be considering under that umbrella of that exception, then every time it is going to decide on its own. So like we are not currently we are not into reinforcement learning. We are like supervised or unsupervised learning only. So at that time, the exception handling would be the good thing. In that data, the exception handling data itself, it would be a data set which will help that autonomous vehicle to understand. I know some specific car, some specific railway, or some aeroplanes is also landing in front of me because there is a possibility of runway. But apart from that, if I'm getting something which is not in my radar or which is not into my training data set, at that time the data set would be a exception data set which will train that autonomous vehicle system to understand that particular object and how to treat with that. So the uniqueness into data set for the comprehensive objects or a comprehensive barrier, we can say, with the accuracy that yes, if a specific vehicle is coming and it's minimizing its speed, and in that case my autonomous vehicle also is going to wait for to get the way from that particular road. But it may possible like whatever the other object which are coming under exception are not behaving in that way. So my data should be that smart enough, my training data would be that smart enough that anything would come apart from that, it would be come under the exception, and my system should be that much smart enough to handle that exception. Now precision and accuracy. Now my data set, which is not, it's a regular data set, it's an exceptional data set. In that case, I need to train my system in another way, like it should be differentiate between the object and which are coming under that particular umbrella, apart from that my regular data set, which is designed for the purpose of that autonomous vehicle to drive or to get drive on the particular road.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
In my experience, scenarios like these, that is scenarios that are not easily producible. Some companies tend to use synthetic data.
You're right.
How does that fit in your dimensions of data quality? Is that something you advocate for, or you think you would recommend a better approach or alternative to this?
Yeah, like in the start of this session, like when we were, I guess we are on the slide number 2 or 3, where we are talking about the importance of data quality. So when talking about data, it's like a training data, testing data, validation data, production data, synthetic data. So based on that, if I'm getting that such type of scenario which you have explained, that would be an input for me. So what my system will start working intelligently with that data also. Okay, this time I know my data set for the exception handling was something, suppose it's XYZ data set. But now I got that. So okay, it's a unique case which come across me as a part of that particular XYZ data set. So now I will start learning. If same thing, or I will add that data to my data set. So it would be initially it would be a training data, then next time it would be a testing data. So my production data will start its journey. It's a real-time data. Now it's a training data. Now it's a validation data. I'm testing on my own. Okay, now I'm ready. So next time, whatever the object you define, it will be there. Then now I know how to handle that. So somewhere I will move into the next stage of my intelligence.
All right, thank you. That's off for me for now.
Yeah. Anyone?
No, I think you can continue now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so tools for data quality management. So we have seen that we're talking about data, we're talking about data quality. Now thing is that I got the data set, but data set word itself is defining that it's a huge one. And every time it is not possible for me to move with any manual activity. So for that, I need some tools which are going to help me to manage the quality of data. So these are like commercial. I will come to open source afterwards, but the commercial data tools are like Talend, Informatica, Trifecta, then ML specific scikit-learn. These are the Python libraries, PyDeepQ, Evidently AI. So these are tools, and these are self-explanatory tools. In my knowledge, couple of my friends who are working with this domain, they are using those tools. But in my personal experience, as well as when I talk to different forums, I found that it is always good to build your own utility, build your own system or framework, we can say. The Pandas, Great Expectation, TensorFlow, data validation, these are going to help you out to make it a customized application. It is always good to develop a customized framework. In normal testing practices also, we know that there is robot framework, there is Selenium, and we are defining our own libraries. We're writing our script, we're just utilizing it. So similarly, when we need to manage the data quality, we need to bring the own customized frameworks. I would like to take one example. I was working on one of the project where SAP system was there, and it is like around they have I guess 27 centers from where they are getting that data, and based on that, initially that data I need to take, then I need to use some BI tools, and based on that I will get some results, and that result would be the input for that AI system. So every time that particular organization is going to fetch that data and ask for some decision or some prediction, they are using that. So the data was huge, and it was very hard to manage that data. So we use Pandas itself, and I write the one Python script, Python utility, which was helping us out to manage that data. Every time it was like checking entire data, it was reading that data, it is providing the required outputs, like where is data is missing itself, or if there are some values which are not matching to that particular, the same example I have taken, like there is a column of temperature. So there was a column of sales of particular FMCG product. Initially, it was showing that growth of 10%, 20%, 25%, and suddenly it was started showing the sale of refrigerator in winter in countries where the temperature is almost minus 20. It was showing the 100% hike. So this type of data, initially we found that, oh, okay, so my utility is the first stage, or not on my utility, but it's a utility which is going to be the first stage, which is going to monitor that data, check that data, and it will provide us result. Okay, so column number 5, row number 25,251 is the row where we are getting that some weird data. So you need to identify. So these are the tools for data quality management which we can use. A couple of them are open source, a couple of them are commercial. So as per the requirement, we can use project requirement, maybe your client requirement. Handling bias and fairness in data. So this is the one of the most important part of any AI. The day when in 1954, around 54, 56, I guess, correct me anybody if I'm wrong. So when first the word AI has been used, since then, like bias and fairness was continuously into the discussion. Like whatever the data I am providing to my AI system to learn, we have kid at our home and we're teaching him what is good, what is bad. One phrase is there, like we are sharing is caring. To share is to care. So if you have anything, just provide it with someone who don't have. So the way we are teaching our kid, like go, you have 2 chocolates, you can give one to your friend or the person who is out there, or anybody. Like we are doing some social reforms. In that way, when we are need to develop AI application, it means that we are minimizing human intervention. So same thinking process, same exception process, everything should be there. So in AI, handling bias and fairness, that is important. And for that, responsible is data. If there is bias and fairness in data itself, obviously garbage in, garbage out. So what we need to do, it's like it would be, initially I have taken the example, it would be specific to one class, specific to community, geographic, specific to some product. I'm not going to highlight that particular product. I will tell you, like if I'm asking any AI system, healthcare AI system, I'm not feeling well, I need something, like I'm in winter, someone is suffered with urticaria, like disease, then there are 2 antihistamines are there. So which one is good? So that system is providing, if you need cheaper one, so this is good. If you need drowsiness, if you are okay, you are not a driver or you are not going to drive, then this ABC molecule is good. So go with this one. So it may possible, but this is not the way, like where we are tailing the data, whatever we are providing to our AI system to train. That case, what would happen? Like the initial, whatever the data set we are using, that data set should be clean enough. That example we had initially taken, like I don't need to insist my data, or in other word, similarly, what we can say that if I don't want to insist my user or my customer to do so, I want to create a data in a way that my AI system should understand. It should not go with that data. Okay, it's a, oh, you're talking about ABC. Yeah, okay. I'm going to understand that. If someone is coming to me, I will tell him like, yes, go for ABC. So for that, we need to handle that because we don't know what is there inside data set. It is not feasible manually to go one by one and check each and every data set and each and every row and find out, okay, in how many rows they are talking about ABC brand, how many columns they are talking about XYZ brand. They are talking about this particular geographic area. They are talking about only London, or they are talking about Cardiff or Liverpool. And they are saying like, okay, you like the pleasant weather, and the pleasant weather is only at that particular city. So this is not the way. So I need to mitigate that. If there is something, I need to mitigate that. But while mitigating that, I need to identify if that data set is really in that way. Because if I'm considering the 100 years data for particular weather or particular grain yield, if I'm taking the grain yield in agriculture, suppose it's a sugar cane, but that data is correct, then why that difference is there? I'm not going to talk to any agriculture department or the meteorological department of that particular country. But yes, I need to identify that, is there anything, any gap is there? If data is not proper, so I need to mitigate that. So there are, again, these tools are there to handle the bias and fairness in data, which will help to understand the application. Like it should be a balanced one. Like each and every information is in a good way, and each and every information in a way, like it should not stressing to particular community or particular group of society. Another part important, data governance and standards. We know I don't want to put my status on social media that Advait or Kaume is watching this movie, or Advait and Kaume are traveling to London to Cardiff, or traveling to Liverpool to New York. I don't want to do that. Now, for that, I don't want to know the social media, as well as don't want to people on my social media, but I want to know this to only my relatives and my best friends. Now, for that, define data policies, roles, and SLAs. So when we are doing the service level agreement for any project, or we are defining the data policies and roles, like the data set I am providing, this system, this AI system is learning this data set, but I don't want to show that data. So I need to define the one data stewardship, that the particular role, suppose there is a user role or ABC, whatever the role is there. So I need to define that, because based on that, what would happen, which data went to and to whom. So for that, I need to define those practices. And for defining that practices, I need to take the help of these compliances, sorry, GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations, CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, EU AI Act. So different geographies, different countries are defining their own governance standards for this. But I need to stick to that, because if on any AI system, if I am asking any information which could be possibly from its learning data training data set, and it need not to open that. We need to maintain the data lineage and documentation, everything. And this adopt standards, these are standards as everybody knows about ISO 8000 and DAMA DAMBOK, like data management. So when everywhere when it's coming to data, database, data set, data governance and data standards are always important. So we are taking one case study here about the logistic domain. So you can see that this train is providing some logistic. The problem is AI-based route optimization failed due to inconsistent GPS data and missing shipment records. So it may possible, but I don't want to this happen. Obviously, it will impact increased delivery delays and fuel cost, and finally everything would be come into the ROI, that is return on investment. So implemented automated data validation and imputation for missing location data. So each and every aspect, like I told you, like develop your own systems, customized system to work on that front. So implemented automated data validation and imputation for missing location data. If any any location is missing in this particular case of logistic domain, what will happen? It will impact the delivery delays and fuel cost also. So we don't need to miss that part also. So where is the lag? Like AI-based route optimization failed due to inconsistent GPS data. So it may possible there are a number of things would be there, but here we are taking an example of inconsistent GPS data. So there are a number of map systems which are redirecting, but we can read that in newspaper. A number of cases across the globe where some maps are not showing, they are showing the roads, and road was end into ocean or valley. So it's not feasible. So your data should be proper. So in healthcare domain, AI diagnostic tool misclassified patients due to imbalanced training data. Nowadays, like I don't know how many of you have checked that, but like X-ray report, MRI report, with the help of AI, they are providing the results. They are comparing the images and they are showing the status of that particular disease. So if your training data, if my system is, I'm just showing the X-ray report or the MRI report to that particular AI system and asking for the diagnosis or asking for the help to diagnose what would be the status of particular disease in that particular patient, but my training data is misleading, it will impacting the delayed diagnosis and patient may harm the risk. Just for an example, if there is the case of any suppose tumor and the size of tumor or other aspects of tumor are not identified properly because my training data was missing that information. Excuse me, missing that information. So in that case, what would happen? It will impacting the delayed diagnosis, not correct diagnosis, and patient harm the risk. So solution is data augmentation, synthetic data generation for minority classes, and bias audit. So data augmentation, like we are using augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. So the proper stage and the proper display of that particular condition of the particular body part or the disease should be identified in a way like it should be easy for the system to identify the current stage of the disease. So result will be like it's removing the negativity and it will provide the proper positive results. So in aerospace domain also, we can consider the predictive maintenance for AI for aircraft engines suffered from data drift. So data drift, we had talked about this in 2-3 slides back. Like if any system, the same example Kaume was saying, it was about the autonomous vehicle. An autonomous vehicle, if it's considering some data and suddenly it is missing some data, so it will bring a drift from its normal behavior. And in that case, if we're talking about this aerospace domain, the predictive maintenance for aircraft engines suffer from data drift. If data drift has happened out there, then the predictive maintenance for aircraft engines, it would get suffered. The best example is sensor calibration changes over the time. So it's a false positive unnecessary maintenance, increased downtime. And continuous monitoring with the drift detection, periodic retraining on the validated data. That is important. The solution here is something different, where the continuous monitoring, obviously every domain or every product we are talking about, there should be a continuous monitoring. We are collecting the logs, time to time we are getting the alerts, and based on that, our system should be in a way like our application, or we can talk about our utilities, we are bringing it the periodic retraining of the validated data. So the same information I am getting, that information I will add to my data set, and it will be the next stage of my training. So similarly, we can work on this multiple domains, multiple domain application, and it will help us to make these systems properly. So yeah, these are the case studies we have seen. That the conclusion, I think you guys have understood about the data quality is the foundation of trustworthy, as everybody knows about it. They invest in assessment, cleaning, governance, continuous, and monitoring. So it's an initial cost, we can say. Costs word I am using because we are spending resources, we are using different technologies, and based on that, it is making a system. The word I will again use that, but we're making a quality system. So I always use this word, domain specific challenges require tailored strategies. So we need to customize application. We need to define our practices on our own, because it is project to project, product to product, and domain to domain. Everything would be different. Future trends, obviously, in one line only we can say that future trends, whatever the data quality aspects we have talked about, we're bringing them into the in a way like where everything would be AI driven. The data itself, it will correct itself, which would the practice would be AI driven. But for that, we need to again make that practice also a quality practice. The privacy preserving techniques, automated governance, everything. And assess your current data pipeline today. So call to action, if you guys are using your traditional application development also, you can use that. In AI application, that is mandatory. We need to time we need to assess that, we need to make the audit, and how your pipeline is working. What is your practice of software development or AI application development? You need to visit time to time and redefine it. So yeah, this is about the data quality management. There are n number of different aspects are also, and we can deep dive in some other sessions. But I think till the time you can connect with me. If you want, get in touch with me if anything, you need more information or anything. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Advait, for that detailed presentation. We are most grateful for your time. Are there any questions? Does anyone have any question that they would like to ask Advait?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation, and but I'm just wondering if you will have another session that will introduce us some tools to ensure the data quality, because I know how important the data quality is from this presentation, but I have very little idea of what tools are available and how they work to ensure the data quality. Because like my company, the data from different data provider, a third party, and some manual input and some missing data, we are very struggle with the data quality. But now what we can do is to validate the data quite manually, and like if there are something we found, then we try to drill down to find is there any more similar problem. But I'm really have no idea if there is any tool and how this tool can help us. And if you have another session that will introduce some of these tools to us and how they work, or some demo or example, that would be very helpful.
Sure. It will be my pleasure. I will check for the tools like the subscription and the trial version maybe on my own. I will take those. As also, what I will do. Usually, I do practice in Python by developing my own utilities to manage the data quality. So I will take those examples also, and I will come with a comprehensive, at least one paid open source and customized tools, and will visit you.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to that, because I'm really very interested to see how it works and how it can help us.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
This is amazing. This is exactly why we set up this platform, to connect people together, to learn from each other and then exchange knowledge. Jaffe, thank you so much for your question. As a matter of fact, if you're interested as well, we can connect in the back if you would like to share a bit more detail about what your company does, Jaffe Link.
Yeah.
And see maybe if there could be a potential of probably also making that presentation here. And if obviously you or any of your team members are interested, we can talk about that later.
All right, sure.
Yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for your time, Advait, and for sharing your expertise with us. I would also like to say thank you to our audience for waiting and asking very relevant questions. And thank you, Derek, for organizing the entire thing in the background. No one sees you, but you do a lot of work in the background. Thank you so much. So we end our first session for the year, and we look forward to more productive sessions in the future. So thank you very much.